Hello. I wasn't expecting everyone to be here. Yeah. So
I was just like, shit, I'm watching a commercial. Okay.
Sammy, you're not supposed to watch the commercials. That's the point. Like, what the fuck? Did y'all forget how to YouTube? Y'all forgot how to YouTube. God damn it.
I'm off for a day. I completely forgot how to YouTube.
Hashtag blame the Valkyries. God
yeah,
damn it.
hashtag. We're blamed. I'm fine. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Fuck's sake.
How's everybody doing?
Well, I'm just sitting here, like, looking up something, and I go back to the show, and all of a sudden I'm in it. And I was like, oh. I was waiting for y'all to, like, you know, greet the chat and shit. I was like, oh, no. Oh, hi, everyone. We're live. Question mark. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, I was expecting a certain God of Mist to show up, but I guess not.
Oh, no, he's in the chat. He's lurking.
He's in the chat somewhere. Okay. He's probably lurking or working or both.
You'll just have to settle for chaos instead of mischief.
That's fine. A little chaotic Sunday is perfectly fine with me.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Good to see everyone. Should we say hi to everyone before we jump into this episode, honey?
Yeah, because I'm excited to jump into this episode. It was a good one.
Oh, my God. It was a good one.
So, hey, Darth Pastor, thank you for coming and wrenching for us. Jester of Sin, hello. Let's see. Justice for Depp is here. Derek McManus, good afternoon, sweetheart. He's watching a show called Greenland on Amazon. I will have to check that out.
Oh, I watched that yesterday. It's a film.
It's a film?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I will have to check it out. That sounds like fun. Anything that's interesting these days, because Lord knows there isn't much out there to pick from. And we do have a super chat from Psychodorf9. He sends us a $5 super chat, and he said Shockwave he's assembling a 3D printer, making chili for the gaming group. How is everyone? We're good.
I'm doing great. I got a Super Bowl party to go to after this. So
good for you.
Yeah. I'm interacting with humans. My goodness.
I'll be at my daughter's. I'll be at Kiddo's house.
I'm not craving chili.
Chili. Who else is hanging out with us, hon?
That chat just went bleh on me. Let me go back and find out. We have got Generalissimo Hefe. Good afternoon, sweetheart. Louise, good evening. Dr. Herky Monkey, good to see you. Always a pleasure. Low spec Linux laptop, that always throws me. Good to see you. I just can't with the owls. Dave Bob. Hey, there he is.
There he is. He's right down there.
There's Dave Bob? I didn't know. Dave Bob's here.
We've got Dave Boy. Good evening, sweetheart. There's the boss. Hey, Loki. Good evening. Good afternoon. Who else have we got? Lady Mist. Hello, sweetheart. Good to see you. Chris Persia. Welcome. Hello, my love. Climb World Reviews. Good to see you.
Hello.
Are you there, Mark?
Are you there, Mark?
Sure? I think I'm here. I'm intimidated by Eris. That's why we've never.
Oh, you should be. I have been pretty intimidating.
We've never been on the same show together, so it's intimidation.
Mark, it's very intelligent for you to be scared of me because you should be.
I love it. I think we got everybody. Darth Pastor is finishing up the final season of Supernatural. Really?
Mm.
How long was that on?
15 seasons.
Holy crap!
I stopped like I think it's season or 2 before the finale. It just finished up like last year.
I stopped watching it like season 7. I had no idea it'd still gone on that long.
After they got killed and resurrected about the 3rd time, I kind of lost interest.
Oh, you didn't like basically the immortal cast?
Yeah.
Death? What is that? We know Death. Well, just give him food. He's fine. He's our friend. Okay. All right.
Hey, Ren Zero.
Good to see you guys.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for joining us on a Sunday. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Sunday afternoon, craziness. Well, moderate craziness. I mean, this episode was pretty darn good. I mean, the whole show is pretty darn good, I have to say. But this particular episode was like, okay, all the feels for the 80s sitcoms, all of them came running out. Family Ties, Growing Pains, and Full House. I was like, okay, the trifecta.
Oh, apparently
Cool.
I didn't see any 80s sitcoms because I didn't recognize any of it.
Also, I don't know what any of these are, but yay for credits. Because none of these made it across the pond.
Just get you a VPN, Purple. You'll be fine.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm going to have to go back and check it out, Oh my gosh.
You can skip Full House, that's for sure.
Oh. I was never a big fan of it when it was on, so.
I thought it was funny in the credits when they gave a nod to it with them in the park. That was kind of funny. I was talking about that back in the back room earlier with the girls, and it was kind of odd to see that and to see one of the Olsens that's not a twin actually be
the good-looking one, you mean?
Well, they couldn't be bothered to come back for Fuller House, so I mean, it was a double slap in the face.
Right? Oh,
Mark found the squirrel emoji.
Oh my goodness.
Shoot. I wondered how long it was going to take for someone to. Yep, there's the squirrels. Holy cow. I had figures.
It seemed like the thing to do.
Not shocked at all. I'm waiting for the snorting one to make an appearance. If it's just going to be snort in like comic book lettering or something, you know.
I don't know yet. We can't find anything that really speaks to us yet. So if that one works, we will do it.
Oh, you can pay me later for the idea.
Sure. Checks in the mail.
All right. Yeah, no problem.
Biff, bam, pow, snort.
Exactly. There you go. You know what I'm thinking. You got it. You're picking up what I'm putting down.
Okay. That actually is a pretty good idea. Snort bubble.
See?
Put it in that one.
Yeah, checks in the mail for that one, Eris. The painting of the opening credits was from Family Ties. Yes, it was. It was like flashbacks. But on the second watch, I noticed the paintbrush was being painted with the red fog that she released
with her hex. Yeah.
Can I just, I know I'm skipping ahead for the chronological order, but can I just say this is like the first show I've ever watched that I'm excited to watch the credits of to see if there's anything hidden in there.
Thank you.
What the hell? I don't. They made credits interesting. What is this madness?
I keep waiting to see
10 minutes of it. Yeah. I swear to God, this show has the longest credits I've ever seen.
Well, it's like a mini movie, you know. They have to like do the whole. It's like you know when you're waiting in the movie theater. I know it's been a minute, but like okay, when you're sitting on your couch and you're watching the movie, and there's like 10 minutes of credits. It's because these are like multi-million-dollar episodes, so it's like a mini movie. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and thank God that they use their budget properly because it shows, you know.
They did. And this was kind of it was a much longer episode than we've had previously. I know they did say at one point they were releasing 2 episodes together, but it seems like it was just a longer mid-season episode that got released because there was so much to put in.
There was a lot to put in this episode. Hey, Digga!
I thought it was going to be going off, you know, when they started rolling the credits for the WandaVision show, and then, you know, Vision came back and kind of Well,
Yes.
I'm getting ahead of it. So.
Oh, that's okay.
That's okay. We can just kind of start at the beginning because you guys were talking about the credits anyway. And like I said, that didn't mean anything to me at all. It's like, it looked cool, but yeah.
I'm just complimenting the show on actually like making me give a shit. Like that's what I'm saying.
But I'm as bad as you, Eris. I'm waiting at the end of an episode to see some sort of little nugget or, you know, like a little preview. Like we've been trained to do that with anything Marvel. So it's like,
well, last week when after finding out what was happening last week, you know, going back and rewatching the first episodes before that, it was like, oh my God, that's Darcy's hand. Holy shit, that's her watching that. The credits are things that are happening now, like in the future, you know. I was like, am I watching Spaceballs? What is happening? I don't what is my mind melting? Stop.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
Well, who thinks the director is a asshole? I'm not talking about the director of the show. I'm talking about.
I was like,
I was going to say, why?
I mean, Sword director.
Yeah.
What the hell, dude?
Come on now, you know I wasn't going to knock any of those guys. Those guys are good.
Decent television.
I'm just talking about a character. You know, he's a good actor. He just, you know, plays a douche.
I don't like the director. He's Generalissimo Jefe thinks he's sinister as hell.
Sometimes people play a good douche. So it's in their contract. They're just like, hey, you know, I want to put this in.
He kind of reminds me of Kittredge from Impossible Mission, the first Impossible Mission movie.
You mean the Mission Impossible?
Yeah, that one too.
That thing. Okay, right.
Okay. But yeah, he kind of reminds me of Kittredge. You don't know if he's truly a villain or not, but I think in this case he is a villain, or he's going to be.
He's going to be.
Yeah. I don't know whether he's a red herring that they've kind of thrown in to kind of distract people.
Yeah, I think he may just have a mindset kind of like the old general that was always after the Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think the fact that they don't seem to just put something in for no reason. I think the fact that he is getting ready to get their space program again could very well be, you know, kind of a nod to. Oh, I'm talking about the previous episode. Never mind. Sorry about that.
No, you were right. Because Darcy did talk about someone who might be able to help that was linked with that space program as well. So no, you're absolutely right.
I accidentally did something totally purposefully on topic. Yes.
But he is very General Ross-esque. I mean, just the way he goes about his mindset. You know, everything's a threat. You know, everything to him is like a nail. You know, and he's a hammer, and he just has to beat it down.
You know, sorry, I noticed Colin P in the chat. You know, I don't mind this. I don't think this is virtue signaling. I think this is like, you know, strong women have. I know this is going to shock Hollywood to its core, but strong women in Hollywood have existed before the modern era.
No,
I know. I know, and breaking hearts everywhere. The feminism movement is cratering around me as I speak. The whole
Lord.
You're right, 100%. The director being a douchebag, not surprising. Agent Lee has, you know, Agent Wu, Agent Lee. Agent Wu specifically has always kind of been an airhead. I think is the proper like intelligent, but an airhead somehow simultaneously. And Vision's confused because he's not alive. I would also be confused if I was in Vision's scenario.
Yeah. Just before we jump into that.
Someone jerks you out of death, you might be kind of confused yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, purple.
Just gonna say big thank you to Psychodwarf9 for the $5 super chat. It says the cat doesn't know whether to be annoyed or brag. You're cutting onions, or my human's feeding yours. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you, Psychodwarf9. Oh my god. And Ren Zero says identity politics is there, but very minor compared to the crap out there, in my honest opinion. Yeah,
it is. Yeah. I think they balanced it pretty well. Oh my god.
That's okay. I don't see, it's not as blatant. I don't see it being, I'm not getting bashed over the head with that hammer that says virtue signaling. It's just not
women, you will like this thing because women. Yeah.
It's like, see, you identify with this, don't you? And
yeah,
not,
she also has your genitalia. You will identify with this thing. It's like, oh. No.
No, I don't think so.
Don't think that's how that works, but okay.
But
we got a lot of kind of a lot of backstory on Wanda. So as they're talking, we learned their parents' names. We know when she was born. We know that she doesn't have an alias in the MCU, which I thought was interesting.
That was weird.
Yeah.
How Tony Stark of her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was like, I'm Iron Man, but he's really just, everyone kind of knows him as Tony ever since then. It's not really, like, Iron Man was the headline name, but, She hasn't gone by Scarlet Witch, has she?
No, she's just Wanda.
Yeah. Like Wonder Woman's never gone by Wonder Woman in the cinema yet. So, interesting. Yeah.
No.
Do you think that's something they're going to introduce as this series goes on? That's going to become her alias? Or do you think she's always going to be known as Wanda?
I think so. It's... I don't know. Was Captain Marvel ever called Captain Marvel?
Mm-hmm.
Was she? Okay. I'm trying to think of any other character.
In the show.
No, I mean, like, while she was around, like, or was it something that was created afterwards, when...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember specifically. Yeah, like, that her name kind of became a thing after she was kind of around for a while. Like, she didn't just, like, go, boof, that's me now. It's like, ta-da, I now give myself this nickname, da-da-da. It's like, how do superheroes get the names that they're known as? And maybe we get to see that with her, because I always found that kind of an interesting thing,
Yes.
Well, sometimes it's just a newspaper article that names them.
Yeah, like Iron Man, yeah.
Exactly.
Did anybody get a look at the newspaper, by the way? I never got it to pause right on the newspaper that Vision was reading.
Hold on.
I never got it to pause on it.
I will come and do this correctly. Like, oh yeah, by the way, thank you for doing proper attire for the decades. Something that I said yesterday they couldn't do in Wonder Woman 1984.
Yes.
No, they nailed it.
Buns of steel.
Buns of steel.
Agnes.
And the hair, the huge hair. It's like, yeah, I'm feeling that.
I can smell the hairspray. Oh my god.
The Aquanet was strong with those two. I was like, holy hell. Was my hair really that big in the 80s?
It was probably bigger something.
I see my mom's hair from the 80s and I was like, oh man, yeah. Damn. Poof.
Yep. It was pretty big.
Like the Nanny. I don't know if anyone watched The Nanny, but she describes the whole like multi-layered empire that is her hair process of trying to get it poofy. It's like, man, y'all are intense about y'all's hair's volume.
Oh yeah. I had it permed within an inch of its life, shit like that.
Oh, no.
A lot of back combing going on, yeah.
Teasing. Yep. Oh my god.
And shoulder pads.
And shoulder pads, yeah. Had the shoulder pads.
Yeah, they looked like they came out of a farm in this one. I thought that was kind of like some people looked more 80s and they looked kind of farmy.
That was with the I don't know what you guys call them. We call them dungarees. So with like the denim with like the overalls.
Yes, overalls.
The suspenders.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I thought that was hot. Sorry,
Mr. Alabama thought that was hot.
I love the '80s look in that. It was just hot, but
All right.
Mom jeans. I love that those are coming back into style because I looked so good in those in the 80s.
Oh my god.
I'm like, yes, I am ready to be proud of my ass again. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, did anybody catch jumping backwards when Monica was being X-rayed or put on the CAT scan? What her reading came out as? Did anybody catch that at all?
I'm blank. Skimming the episode.
It was white. It was
white.
Completely white light. So she might have her powers right now.
Yes. Do you think this is her origin story coming about?
We discussed that last Tuesday. Yeah, the concept of things that go into this universe tend to stay that thing in whatever the universe is created. So if something happened when she traveled through to give her powers, it would stay once she left because the jump rope for last week's episode stayed.
Yeah. Yes. And her clothes. Yeah. Yeah, because obviously in the episode we find out that she's not so much creating stuff as rearranging things. So the clothes that Monica came out wearing were actually the clothes she came in wearing, just altered.
Yeah. Which is
87% Kevlar.
Terrifying. Like, that's a terrifying power, to be fair. Something you don't think about.
That's how she survived that impact a little bit, being thrown through everything by wearing pure Kelvar.
Yeah.
Well, she also had, it looked like a force field around her, kind of protecting her as she was going through things.
Yeah, when she spat out, it wasn't as violent as it could have been. It was like she just needed to leave, and it wasn't so much as like malicious. It was like you kind of like a caged animal would lash out. You know, it's not really, it's just trying to get you to back off and go away. It's not really actually trying to get to harm you unless you keep poking it. If you keep poking it with a stick. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if she would have wanted her gone as quick as possible.
She would have fought back, then it would have ended that. Anyway, sorry, we're talking about last week's episode a lot. This week, my good lord, this week.
What Chris is talking about in his message. Also, did you know with the hex powers, everything's hexagon with her as well? When she starts really using it, hexagons start popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's what Chris was referring to or not, but that's getting kind of strange too.
I like it. The idea of like a witch hexing someone and it's literally hexagons. My OCD is very satisfied with that.
So the hexing power is strong.
If we did like an aerial view of the town, do you think it would be in a hexagon? Because that seems to be what they're hinting at as well.
I think so.
I think actually they had a map overlay of it, and it did look like a big hexagon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was as well.
And also,
when they were first mapping the town out, I think so.
Renzero's right. Also, in their movies as well, every time that they, like in Guardians of the Galaxy, when they were making that, for lack of a better term, hyperspace jump, they were always jumping through hexes. So it's, who knows?
So here we go with hexagons. We got to keep an eye on that. I think. Mark nailed it. That's the argument that Darcy is used as naming. Okay. That's what I thought.
Well, that's what they're called as well in the comics, isn't it? It's hex bolts or hex spheres when she uses her powers, so it goes back to that as well.
Oh my gosh.
I never remember seeing in the comic the physical use of hexes like they're using in the show. I don't remember ever seeing them.
No, not as in hexagons, but that's what they're called, isn't it? It's
the hex power.
Hex powers,
Hex powers.
I'll tell you what else made me laugh that made an appearance that we haven't seen for a while. Her accent.
It did.
Oh, yeah. I wanted it to go back into the closet, which it came from, because her voice is fine by itself. You know, it's like Benedict Cumberbatch. It's like, honey, we can understand if Doctor Strange is suddenly British. You don't need to change. Stop. Please stop. You don't need to do that. It's like, oh, Elizabeth, honey, we don't stop. It's okay. You can keep it away.
Eastern European-ish.
Ish, adjacent, American.
It's like it's somewhere on this planet, not American. That's what I would say the accent is. It's like, I don't know.
All she has to do is move down here, and we'll have her talking like a Southerner for long.
Yeah, it won't take long. Between Dave, Bob, and Mark, Southern accent, no problem.
Well, do you want more deep South, or do you want more a little bit Cajun?
It depends on where you go, Louisiana or Alabama.
Yeah.
And what part of Alabama, no less, too.
That's true. That's true.
People don't need to know there's multiple places in Alabama. It's just a singularity. Okay. Break people's hearts.
It's a void you drive through. That's it.
But that was kind of funny to see it come back, because I don't remember it in the, obviously she had it in Age of Ultron, but the later films like Endgame and Infinity War, I don't remember having it.
I don't know, actually.
Sammy didn't in Civil War either.
Yeah, she didn't have a whole lot of speaking parts in any of them, but
no, that's true.
No, that's true.
No, I don't.
She was big time supporting cast. So
yeah, Age of Ultron definitely. And then, like, after that, it fades out. I don't remember the accent. Maybe I blacked it out. I don't know.
Yeah, you may have blanked it.
It's really bad. Like, you know, it kind of throws you out of whatever you're watching, because it's like, it's not natural enough. I don't feel like she's practiced it enough. And it's like, no, wait, you're fine without it. It's okay, I promise. You don't actually have to, okay. All right, no, yeah, bring it back. All right, whatever. Ugh, whose choice?
Oh no, we've shattered Chris. Sorry, Chris.
So it isn't so, Mark.
I told you, you need to break the hearts of the people.
Should we talk a little bit about the twins, since that's the big thing for this episode? Obviously, they were introduced last episode, and they looked about 6 months old, even though they'd just been born, which did kind of make me giggle. They're big babies.
I ripped her down, her basement, man. Like that, like those things coming out. It's like, I mean, she binged reality, so I mean, maybe, I don't know, but like, you also have to think like time's accelerating so fast that actually makes sense. And this episode just enhances that theory that maybe there were 6 months born by the time that she birthed them, because they're like 10 or 5 or whatever they want to try to convince me they are. They're really like,
they went from babies to 5, and then after they told them, they had to be 10 to have a dog. Boom.
That was pretty crazy.
So, Mark, I need to get your opinion on this one, because you remember from the comics with the boys, obviously they didn't exist if Wanda wasn't present.
Well, they did exist, but they did take on life. It was Mephisto being burst into pieces is how they actually physically came to be. So that's where, if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. Dave Bob just knows as much as I do, and Chris probably knows as much as I do as well. But they did exist physically, but we don't want to jump ahead to tell what happens later if it does happen.
Exactly.
So I mean, they're there, and they both have powers as well that mimic their mom and their uncle. So
literally, Dan sums it up pretty well. They did, then they didn't, then they did again.
That works. Thanks, literally, Darren.
And Wanda's powers pretty much don't work on them at all.
No, they can't. They proved that as when they were trying to get the babies to go to sleep, and she was trying to hex them to sleep, and it didn't work.
Yeah, you can't parent. You can't magic your way out of parenting, Wanda. Come on.
Oh, please, if I had magic when my kids were little, I would have done it.
Me too.
Ever.
And Lucky's right; they are cherry picking from different things. They're not doing everything completely. So we may get a full version of the story or somewhere there about close, but who knows where they're going with it? I mean, they're sitting on top of this kind of secret.
House of M is, the premise, just kind of loosely based on it.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I mean, bringing the X-Men in, yes, but I don't know. It's getting more and more where it's more like Wanda and Scarlet Witch and Vision, and playing off both those limited series, because it has that feel, but there's something not quite House of M to it yet. But the end does well. Bringing that up, the end explains that, so I can see where Bob's going with that. So. Yeah, there kind of is, and there kind of it. Now, I was full on board with it being House of M, but I'm not so sure it's fully House of M or not.
Oh, it's not. They're like you said, they're picking and choosing. I don't think it's going to be straight up House of M by any means. I mean,
right.
I think they're just kind of dangling that in front of people.
Well, that's what they've been doing, though. That's kind of the MCU. Is like there's so, and I can't blame them for cherry picking. I really can't, because there's so much material when you start going back into the history of these characters, that to try to do all of them is kind of impossible. And so the fact that they're even trying to tell these stories, and they're actually doing a what seems to be a decent job, and kind of a respectful job of telling these stories, if not in their entirety, in a kind of a Spark Notes type of manner. I think that kind of gives me hope more for the MCU than anything else, because every time I hear something else about Thor, Love and Thunder, it's worse. So, every time, and no, it's like, oh God, what is happening with this abomination? So seeing good things like this, and the fact that they're even bothering to look up material that they have to use and to actually put that on the big screen is, it's nice. It's a nice change of pace than what I'm used to.
I think a good word for it is piecemeal.
Piecemeal?
Yeah. And if they're smart, they use the TV series as the different shows, and use Disney Plus as in-betweens between movies to set up the next movie, kind of like what they're doing right now. And use that to tell, and to jump on what Eris was saying, to tell the in-between stories, to fill people in who are new and don't know these characters, to build up the characters as well, to drive the plot, to drive plots. I mean, that would be the best thing to do. And they're doing a damn fine job of it right now.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
They're leading into the Doctor Strange movie with this. You can tell.
Yeah, that's true.
What did you
guys think? I have a question now. Oh, sorry, hon. Go ahead.
No, you can. No, then I'll get back into it.
I have a question about the Eternals, because the Eternals was supposed to be part of this whole release up to Doctor Strange, right?
Yeah, that should have been out last year, I think.
Okay, but the Eternals, are they mutants?
I
they're
don't
celestial
know.
beings.
Yeah.
I don't know the Eternals very well.
Okay. I was just wondering, because we started talking about the X-Men, and we'll get to that. After the first watch through, and I'm like, so maybe this is how they're going to do it, but what happened to the X-Men? Or is it New Mutants that's coming up? Or is that a TV show? That's where I got a little lost.
Don't watch
going through it.
Don't watch the New Mutants.
New Mutants is 3-year-old milk. Don't touch it. Don't go near it. Just put it in the dumpster where it belongs and walk away.
As a matter of fact, I wouldn't think of anything with an X in it except for First Class and Days of Future Past.
Okay.
Tie into this, because the other two movies get worse and worse. But I mean, the X-Men are probably going to be a complete wash and reboot, is what they're going to be.
Okay.
I like Quicksilver.
I hope so.
I like the actor. Anyway, moving on before we talk about that.
Let's get the purple question. What she was going to ask.
Yeah, I was just going back to with the twins, because obviously we get that really strange scene with Agnes, where basically it's a scene break, and it's that.
Oh yeah,
it's the bit with Vision, and this is kind of cements in his mind, like, what the heck is going on? It's kind of confirming his suspicions, and obviously that leads on to then when he's at work, he kind of puts his hands on his co-worker's head and just lifts whatever is going on. and he knows now. He knows that Wanda is in control.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the confrontation between the two of them over it.
That was pretty good, that confrontation when he said, "You can't control me like you do the others," and she said, "What? Can't I?"
Mm-hmm.
And, thinking about the previous episode and the fact that, like, I know people are calling him a zombie, but it's like, it's literally, it's dead Vision that she or somebody else, we don't know at this point, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's all my suspicions, but like that we're puppeteering this dead body around with like a glamour look of it being him, and it's that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Okay, that is so awful.
I think he's an extension of her psyche currently. That he is himself. But going back to last episode with the missing person that agent that Wu is looking for, I still think that's Simon Williams. I think that's how we're going to get Vision back. Is we're going to get the Ghost Vision out of it once this is all said and done.
Oh, huh?
Because they did show her breaking into S.W.O.R.D. to steal his body back.
Yes.
After it was all said and done, when they were.
I was going to ask about that, Mark.
All that. Oh yeah, that was what was left of him.
And that's a big thing, because at the time we didn't know that he was physically there. We just thought it was something that she conjured up, but now we know it's actually a physical thing.
Yeah,
reanimated.
She animated him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Ew.
The good thing about it is he's not flesh and blood. He's vibranium, so he doesn't stink.
Thank God.
Like, that's still fucked up.
Oh yes.
That doesn't change it. He was at one point, even though he was made of vibranium, a living being, and now she's like, I'm trying to think of the serial killer that like would, I think it's Ed Gein.
It's Ed Gein.
Just kept it, or like Norman Bates or whatever you want to call it. Just like, I can't let you go. You must stay here with me forever. And it's like, oh no, though.
No, I don't know.
Wanda's got issues.
Well, the thing that made Vision was the Mind Stone. I mean, without the Mind Stone, he has no template to be himself. So she is definitely some extension of her psyche is in Vision. That explains why he can't remember anything before Westview.
I think, as Darcy, as they were talking, and they asked Darcy, how in the world did she do that without the Mind Stone? Well, her powers came from the Mind Stone too.
Right.
Yes.
That was going to be my next question. Was it true what I understood, that her powers are from the Mind Stone or the Reality Stone? I didn't know which one it was.
Well, in comic book, she's a mutant.
Yeah.
She's a mutant.
Okay.
They just didn't have those rights
to do with any of the things. I mean, she was straight up mutant, and that's where her powers came from.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't have those rights at that point, so they kind of had to. Oh, she's whatever. Yes. Anyway, moving on.
So in the MCU, it's kind of changed, through experimentation.
Bastardized.
Yeah. Ren Zero says her powers in the comics come from a demon.
I've heard that. I don't know.
Well, her original powers but not the Hex powers, but her mutant powers. Those are, and Lord, it's been forever since I've actually read a bio on Scarlet Witch, so forgive me. She's kind of like Ilyana Rasputin, where she's a May. She has magical abilities, but she also has mutant abilities that help her along as well.
Yes, but not to this extent.
I think some of her mutant abilities were psychic. She could read minds and that type of stuff, or at least. Yeah,
she's an Omega level mutant, is what she is. She's one of the Power 12, is what she is.
Right.
But we're not talking about the comics. We're talking about the MCU.
So. And kind of harking back to the MCU, with today's episode, well, the episode we've just had, we also had another advert, which was kind of nice to see.
Yeah, I had to go back and I watched it 3 times, and it took me the second watch to figure out the Lagos, what they were talking about, and it's like, wait a second, wasn't that from Civil War?
Yes, it's the beginning of Civil War when she kind of loses control a little bit and kind of she misses.
Yeah, she makes a little bit of a mess.
Anyway, she kills people by accident. That's the point.
Whoops.
So again, it's tied into another traumatic event. But I think we were talking in the green room, weren't we, about how each of these, not only are they tied to traumatic events, but they could also be seen to be tied to the Infinity Stones,
which I think is a great theory. You want to? I don't know if Dave Bob got to hear that one or not. I think it was just you, me, and Mark. Yeah.
Okay. So far we've had a toaster, a watch, a bath powder, and now we've got a red liquid. So looking at them all, the toaster could be the Power Stone, the watch, time, obviously. The bath powder, if I remember correctly, was blue.
Yeah, inner goddess, releasing your inner goddess, whatever you want to say on that.
So it was shaped kind of like the Tesseract, which is space. This 5th episode, we had a red liquid spill across a counter.
Oh, the ether.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dark World.
So which ones are we waiting for then? We're waiting for mind,
soul and mind.
soul.
Yes.
Yeah.
6.
Okay.
No, 5. My bad. No, 6. There is 6.
So I'm trying to count 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, 5 and then 1 in the middle. Yeah. Okay, we're good. Yeah.
6
like
Infinity Stones.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have 6 Infinity Stones laying right here. So
that could be kind of tied into that, as well as the traumatic events that she's gone through.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll probably get the Mind Stone dead last if your theory sticks. It'll have it would be doing that series justice if it was the last one, just because of Vision.
Yes, that would make sense.
But I like your theory. When you said in the green room, I was like, oh, I missed this one completely.
Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't even track that. It was just us trying to tie them to events.
I don't know if it will pan out, because I think you guys were right to begin with, that they're all kind of every time we see an advert, it's something in her past that it's connected to. It just seems like a nod towards each of the stones as well, which would make sense with her connection with Thanos.
Yeah. Did anybody catch the line about Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
And the eye roll?
Monica does not seem to care too much for Captain Marvel.
No.
See, I love Monica. I loved her so much, and I still do. And I'm like, can we just get rid of Brie and just have this woman as she's so much better.
She's way better.
Have you noticed also that even though I know that's her rank, they refer to her as Captain. They don't refer to her. They don't really refer to her by her name at all. They just call her Captain a lot.
Yes.
I picked up on that this episode, and I'm just like,
Well, I forget her name's not Brie. Because all they do, she's just Brie to me. It's not really just because she doesn't convince me of her character yet. So it's I'm just watching an actor kind of flounder around and try to act like somebody that they're not successfully acting like. So
yeah, I love that line.
Me too. Yeah.
That and what we were talking about in the green room about Sparky too, that if nobody caught Purple and I were the only 2 people that caught on to the Sparky thing. So
we discussed it last week on Tuesday. It's the only reason I know about it.
You guys got the deep dive on that one. Okay.
Yeah. So Fat Steven being like, oh, look, advert about Sparky. I was just like, oh, we got Super Dog. Okay.
Well, the fact that the dog tried to commit suicide and then successfully committed suicide makes you wonder if the animals are aware of things that are going on there as well. So
that dog wanted out.
Animals have higher senses than humans do. So that could be true. I don't know. I don't know, but that dog was like, bye. Bye. Toodaloo. I don't want to be here. Bye.
I also like the way Vision brought up the fact that there were no other kids in the town.
But I thought that was interesting. For the children.
For the children. Think of the children. God, so freaking elementary school fundraiser. There's no children.
There's no kids.
Finally starting to realize, is it the twins? Did somebody create all of this because they wanted the twins? Is that what? Mm-hmm. Or is it a different set of twins, cough, cough, that somebody might want to get a hold of? Because, oh my God.
I think it's a different set of twins because the twins that Wanda had weren't in existence unless they were forcing it. So I think it's more, well, we shouldn't touch on that till we get to the end of the show.
Yeah, and we're fixing to.
So we are. We're getting to the one next.
Yeah.
Cough, cough, a different set of twins.
Air quotation marks.
Danny Boy with a 5-pound super chat. Monica hates Captain Marvel. Yes, fan service.
I know, right?
Thank you, Danny Boy. Thank you, sweetheart.
So yeah, do we need to move on to that bit?
Shall we go for it? Because this is the one that everyone wants to talk about.
Oh my God, I shit a brick.
Well, I think it was.
I had a feeling it was going to be Pietro, or Purple had another theory too, which didn't occur to me till she mentioned it to me, and I'm like, oh, that could work too.
I thought it was somebody was talking about it was old. I forgot who it was. I saw it. Did you think it was old Cap Purple?
No.
You talking about it? Somebody somewhere was talking about. They thought it was old Steve Rogers coming to the door before they actually saw it.
That was a rumor that got floated, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But that was for the Winter Soldier and Falcon series.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And somehow it got lumped in with WandaVision. I don't know how. But Purple's theory I found rather interesting.
Yes. So it could have been I think obviously Pietro was the most obvious one. And that's what we got. But it could have been Michael Fassbender brought in as Magneto. But not as the Magneto character. Yeah.
Funny. Yeah, I thought it was going to be Magneto. I was like, are they really about to do this? Because they keep like putting their toe in the water, like, ooh, X-Men. Oh, we gonna do it?
They're gonna tease it.
If they're cherry picking from the comics, it could have been somebody else, but I don't want to say who it is because spoilers. But there is one other person it could have been, but the gray hair kind of, the silver hair was a dead giveaway that it wasn't.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't know which Pietro it was going to be.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Pietro. Like it was. I felt pretty clear it would have been just the MCU Quicksilver. So when the door opened, you're like, "What?"
And
7 pieces.
This is where
she recast Pietro.
I fell off the couch laughing at that line.
Well, the whole theory about House of M came into play with that right there. I mean, that brings it back to the forefront again.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, I feel like everyone, when he died in Age of Ultron, we were just like, oh, he's going to come back. Look, he's come back like 8 times. Like, he'll come back. And then he didn't. And we were like, oh, no, fuck. And then him coming back in this episode, it was like, I was years late, but I knew it.
Everybody was saying, they killed Kick-Ass.
See, I know him mostly from American Horror Story.
Same.
So this was a whole kind of new weird thing. I was like, oh, wait. And then they have the hair, it was like, oh, okay. Is this how they're going to? Because everyone loves this Quicksilver more than the other one. Is this how they're going to bring it in? Okay. I don't know what. Oh, doesn't compute. Error. What does this mean? Oh no!
I thought it was funny. They brought him with a sleazy New York accent. That was funny.
That was pretty weird.
For a loop.
Evan Peters is insanely talented. Like he can pull off pretty much anything if you throw it at him. So
I love him. The Run Zero with a £5 super chat. Was it me or did Agnes at one point ask Wanda if she was going to use her powers to correct something? Is Agnes really the one in charge? I don't think it was Agnes. I think it was the twins.
Yeah, I think Agnes just said, "Can you do that?"
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
See, I still think Agnes is more than she's letting on. I think she's just kind of playing along. I think there's more to Agnes than we see.
She's in control, though. I believe she's still under Wanda's powers to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
I think she did say something. I don't know if it was on the lines of saying that, but it was a face she made and something that she said. I'd have to go back and watch the episode again.
Well, she actually kind of knew that, they flubbed their lines up. And she said, "You want to take it from the top or whatever," when they first came in there. But
no, this was something like sinister. Like she had a sinister look on her face, not the confused look of like, "We screwed up. Can we do another take?" I thought there was a part where she got kind of dark with saying something to Wanda. It wasn't very long. It was something brief, but it stood out. And yeah, she's definitely a major player in it. But whose side is she on?
Right.
So
because Agatha, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
is a witch in and of herself.
A very powerful witch.
Yeah. This is where my knowledge of the Marvel universe kind of takes a dive because I got to rely on you guys for that.
Or is she a combination of Agatha Harkness and Bova because of the way she cared for the children?
Yes. Yeah.
It's weird. There's so many theories out there that, like Aaron said, it'll blow your mind. It'll melt your brain trying to outthink what they're doing.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
I don't want it to melt my brain.
If you want to get your brain melted, just listen to Fat Steven. He goes.
He gave up. He found out he looked ahead and found out something, and he's just and he was upset about it. And
shame.
Yeah. Well, if anybody spoils that for me, I will kill you where you stand. So I have stayed off Twitter for the most part, avoiding.
We're not going that far ahead.
So and thank you, Funko Pop, you assholes, for spoiling that for lots of people. So
yeah, Funko really fucked themselves with that, didn't they?
Yeah,
they do that all the time.
Yeah, they're kind of notorious for doing that.
That doesn't make it okay if they do it all the time.
But he was having such a good time with deep diving into this, and then he just went completely silent. It was kind of, I asked him, I was like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, "I found out who it is." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm shutting up. Leave me alone because I don't want to know."
Yep, I don't want to know. No.
I know there's some people in the chat that know, and I mean that's why I've been off Twitter for so much. I just don't trust people to not be assholes to post spoilers. Like I said,
we'll do spoilers, but we'll keep it to the episode we're talking about. We'll try not to go too far ahead.
That's what I'm talking about. Yellow Flash spoiled the vision, like zombie vision, quote unquote, for me. Like I literally refreshed my Twitter page last week, and that was the first thing that popped up, and I was like, "God damn it!" Damn it! I was literally about to start watching the episode. I was like, "No, what have we done?" So I just don't trust people to not give me spoilers anymore.
Right? Just stay off Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. That's
I think people actually enjoy spoiling it for a lot of other people, which is pretty shitty.
I've had to learn the hard way about spoilers because I spoiled something for somebody and got my ass chewed about it. So I stay away from spoilers now. So yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, there was
sorry, Mark.
On EFAP, one of the guys over there talked about how he got Han's death spoiled in Force Awakens, and it was a bumper sticker. He was literally going to the movie that night, and there was somebody had a bumper sticker on their car that said, "By the way, Han dies." And that's how he got it spoiled for him. And I was just like, what is wrong with people? What the hell? Jesus.
What a random bumper sticker. What the hell?
That is so random.
That's somebody going out of their way to be an arsehole about it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's so rude. No.
But now that we've got Pietro in the show, are you guys excited about having him? Do you think they're going to use him, or is it just going to be like a kind of very brief guest appearance?
I don't know. I don't know how you can go around not using him.
You have Evan Peters use the damn man. Damn.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, he's on a break from American Horror Story. You may as well use the hell out of him. I mean,
Exactly.
I'm hoping they do, but I've got a feeling it's just for clicks.
Well, you got to
we're going to try to tie in the X-Men.
You got to remember this is a limited series, and there's only a few episodes left. So
yeah, we only have. What are we on? Episode 5.
Got 4 to go.
Right?
Yeah,
we've got 4 left. So yeah, hopefully they will use him.
You know, it's gonna be cruel as if they take a mid-season break and make us wait 3 months for.
I was so angry.
They would get destroyed.
I will go
super
Georgia
villain
and cut
levels.
a bitch.
I am a super villain now.
That's like nah. Nope.
You're winning us back after giving us nothing but horrific updates to all these future movies, and you keep pushing everything back. Like, seriously, guys, no one gives a shit about your Black Widow movie. Okay, no one
Not
cares.
anymore.
No one
not
no
anymore.
one's scared. Yeah.
She died. She died.
She did.
You want to see it still?
Yeah. For continuity.
Well, I won't
sake,
see
wanna
anything with Scarlett Johansson in it.
There you go, Dave.
Okay.
No, I can understand that one.
I'm with Dave Bob. I will
All
see
right,
anything
I
with
get
Scarlett Johansson in
All
it.
It's for
That's America's ass.
It's for continuity's sake is mostly what it's for. Who cares if it came out? It was 3 years or 6 years late, but
6 years
That's
late.
it,
Yeah.
the list. Yeah.
I mean, I just want to see it just to, if it has something to add to what we've seen already, it would be nice
Yeah.
to see.
I don't
Yeah.
trust it at all. It's like New Mutants. It's like, oh, this is overdue. This has been out, and ready for a long time. And I'm worried that because they kept reshooting it and they keep pulling it back and then pushing, and it's like, oh no, what is this monstrosity that I'm going to see? I don't think it's going to be what we originally thought it was going to be at all. Like, I wanted answers to Budapest. That's definitely not going to happen.
I definitely wanted answers to Budapest. I want to know what happened in Budapest.
No. Anyway.
Low spec Linux laptop, Scarlett Johansson, yummy. I second that.
Oh yes. I'll give you that.
I think that's a unanimous vote, panel. Don't you think?
Colin P. Smith says the last episode is going to air on the 12th of March.
Yes, I saw that.
What? Wait. Okay, calendar. A calendar app? Where are you? What does that mean? What am I talking?
What are we
so
skipping?
this is the 7th.
Well, that means it's the day before my birthday.
Ah!
So, wait,
Too bad it
7.
didn't fall on the 13th and be on the odds of March, which would have been interesting. But if I have
That
my
would've been
date
cool.
numbers right.
So on the 12th of March, that actually lines up with a week-by-week episode, so we're fine. Okay,
We're fine. We're good.
Right. I had to do my math stuff, so I
was wondering why everybody was saying there was going to be 2 episodes this week. I didn't take that. They just released, like 2 trailers or whatever, I think.
Yeah, it was definitely a longer episode, though. I mean, it was a good, 10 minutes longer than we usually have? If you take off the, 15 minutes of credit that they give us.
15 minutes of credit. You're right.
I mean, the end credits, they have to nod to everybody that had something to do with in the Marvel comics. I mean, it's getting longer and longer as it progresses with the nods and thanks to everybody, which is kind of cool.
It's a 40-minute episode. Never mind. It's actually just 30 minutes. And there's 10 minutes of credits. Never mind.
Exactly, Loki. Exactly.
Yep, Loki. Yep. I agree.
Yeah. So do I.
I want to agree, but I'm a bit confused by your wordage. I need an
don't be.
Right. To say it like this, what he's saying is moist.
See, that makes me think of her as an amphibian. So, it's like, that's why I'm like, wait a second. I'm not lying. Don't laugh at me.
Chris says, according to IMDb, the finale is March 5th.
Oh.
So I don't know I don't know who's got it right or wrong at this point. Because I've heard the 12th as well.
As long as we keep getting an episode a week, I'm fine.
Me too.
I'm fine with that.
Then there's going to be that letdown that happens when it's over with and you don't have anything for like a month or two and you have to wait. That's going to be the hard part.
Yes. But how glad are we that it did actually release a week at a time? Because we wouldn't be able to do this. There'd be just too much to kind of dive into. You'd never be able to do a proper breakdown. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's really the only way you're going to keep it in the forefront for any length of time. You drop them all at once, a week later, maybe two at the most, it's forgotten.
Yeah, that's what they did with The Expanse last season. Season 4, they just dumped it all at once, and everybody, a month later wasn't talking about it. Then they did it weekly. I got to tell you, they did it weekly, and people still bitched that they were releasing Expanse weekly, and I'm like, oh my fucking
we must
gosh.
have one per year. It must last. We will keep it going forever.
God, I'm like,
it's like, wait a second, guys. That's how normal television works. Like, why do you?
You can't please everybody. There's going to be, the junkies that want to watch it in a binge, and then there's going to be the people that like us that want to, savor it.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I do like binge watching stuff, but I prefer it when it's like I can wait. Okay, like I do have patience. I can wait for it to all come out. I haven't watched I still haven't watched past season. I haven't finished season 2 yet. Hell, my parents are past me on watching The Expanse. And because I've waited so long, and I'm totally fine with that because if I really want to binge watch something, I can wait for it to come out.
Yeah.
But for the sake of the show and for it to continue, it is much better for marketing purposes as like a business decision for it to come out weekly. That's just obviously.
It's much smarter. So next week, guys, we'll be back with another review.
Yes, I'm very curious to see where they take this now, and I want to know where did he come from? Because
where did he go?
Did she literally recast him, or is this something that somebody else has brought in as a distraction?
She recast Pietro.
I love that line.
If that's just Quicksilver now, that was like the best way to do it. Like hands down, the best way to get him back was just have the dude that everyone prefers as Quicksilver, because that was always a question once they got the X-Men. What are they going to do? They have 2 Quicksilvers, and one of them's dead, but like that's the MCU. That's where everything is going to eventually end up. So this was like, okay, if this is how you get Quicksilver back, I'm actually okay with that. I don't mind it. That was elegant, very elegant way.
I'm like Mark though. I love that schmarmy New York accent. Oh man, that was just
that was cool.
He was a total greaseball. I mean, that's what was so neat about it. It's like, wait, that wasn't Pietro from the X-Men. He was a thief and he was a fast talker. This guy's not even a fast talker.
Hey, who's the what did he call Vision? Who's the
popsicle?
Who's the popsicle?
Yeah.
Which is odd that he realized. Was he referring to just Vision being square, or was he referring to Vision being dead? And he was seeing Vision. He was actually seeing Vision as he was supposed to be.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I wondered that myself.
So,
I'm very curious as to who this Pietro is. Has she literally ripped a hole in reality and pulled him out of the not the MCU, or has somebody else done it as a distraction? So
it's Mojo.
Mojo.
Well, it was funny when her kids asked her, do you have a brother? When they were talking about family, and she said, I do. But she acted like she really didn't even realize that he was dead at that particular moment in time for some reason.
Yeah. I thought that was really weird that she kept him in the present tense, not the past tense.
Yes.
And that was on my second watch through. I didn't catch it on the first watch through. I was just too shocked that it was that Pietro. I was just, what? It's Evan Peters? Awesome.
And to be honest, I don't know which one I want to learn more about, what's going on the outside or what's going on the inside, because I'm really getting into Monica Rambeau.
Yeah,
so am I.
Really like her. Her character is probably one of the more refreshing characters out of all of them, and better characters out of everybody the MCU has introduced.
Yeah, I really hope that this is her, in quotes, origin story to become Captain Marvel.
I hope this is them kind of like, yeah, we kind of fucked up with Brie. That was a really bad movie. We spent all that money for this plank of wood. Like, we need to reevaluate the choices we've made. So they're just kind of like, you like this woman? Yes, you like this woman better. Oh no, Brie. Oh, your contract. We don't know where it went. Yeah, Monica, you wanna? Yeah, okay, all right.
You keep Brie around. When the X-Men get introduced, Rogue flies out, gives her a big old smack on the lips, and sucks her dry, and turns her into a husk, and she goes off and becomes part of the Starjammers.
Put that on the cover.
We never see her again.
Yep. Perfect ending for her.
I'd be fine if we never saw her again.
Or they just kill her off completely and just ignore the Starjammers because they have Guardians of the Galaxy. So, I mean, either way, it doesn't matter. We have a space-bearing episode, and we don't need her in it.
Awesome.
If we got a fully powered Rogue out of it, I'd be all for it. Yeah.
Yep.
That would be another one that's yummy.
Just don't have Brie popping up in her head talking to her like Captain Marvel or like Carol Danvers did in the comic book. Just keep Brie out of it completely, and just like Rogue nodding and looking crazy whenever something bad goes wrong.
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you so much, you guys. This has been a fun. I can't believe the hour is shot already. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Only
an hour. It was an hour. I can't believe it.
Will you guys come back next week for the next episode?
Sure. Yeah, next week, guys.
Of course.
2 p.m.
Awesome.
We'll do it again. Because this show is magnificent. I think I watched a total of 3 episodes last night just to build up to the episode that aired. So I was like, oh my god, this show is so good. I can keep watching it.
Yeah, it has been getting progressively better every week.
Uh-huh. Not as much of a letdown as The Expanse was. Sorry, guys.
Still a little bit bitter about that.
I'm a little bitter.
Oh, it's fine. It's okay.
Okay. But yeah, we'll see you guys next Sunday. I've got to get out of here. There's a Super Bowl party I think everybody is waiting to get to.
Damn straight. Yep.
See?
So there's
So
a back of eyelids that want to get back to.
I was going to say,
all night.
Hey, sports ball.
sports ball. All right, you guys. Well, everybody have a wonderful rest of your weekend, guys and girl. Thank you for joining us. We had a wonderful
woman.
time.
I am women. Thank you very much.
Hey,
Oh,
I'm a
goddess.
girl.
You can call me either one. Those are my pronouns. Her Majesty also
God,
works.
thank him.
You can call me Ray, or you can call me, but you doesn't have to call me Johnson.
And we will see you guys tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Later.
So
Bye-bye.
everybody have a great rest of your weekend. See you in the morning.
Oh my God. Bye. Jesus Christ.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you for the super chats, guys. Thank you.